So just to note that little guy is having a hard time today with our inside voice. Okay.
Dad
is
getting Doritos.
And if you are in the sewing room, you need to. Right. Inside voice, please. So I did two things here. This one I did this kind of sideways fill and it looks kind of bad. This one looks a lot better. And this one is because I started here and I moved up. Now this one, to get it look so precise, I had to go really slow. So how did I do that? Let's do it over here. Again, I'm gonna pick up find my spot. Sorry, quiet. Pull up your thread and my scissors and pull it over to the side. Make sure I have sufficient tail. Okay. Put my thread down again. Now, when you're doing a satin stitch like this, you need to have a kind of an underfill so that it doesn't have enough structure for the satin stitch. So the first thing I'm going to do after securing my thread, I'm going to turn up the speed a little bit. And I'm going to do this kind of just fill it in a little bit with these random stitches. Buddy, quiet please. Okay. All right, now I'm going to turn it down again and I'm going to go back to my starting point.
Want to see Dad
is
getting Doritos.
Yeah, some days we all have those days we want Doritos. So
go home. Go home.
We're at home. So let's start. I'm making a video, buddy.
You want to put your shirt on?
So I'm going to go really slow and I'm going to do a satin stitch. Kind of like if you were doing it by hand, right? Where I just move it over and I slowly, this isn't hard, it's maybe slightly tedious, but it's really not hard. And if you mess up, the good thing is that you can go back. It gets too long at a point, and it gets hard to move it that fast.
Call Dad on the phone?
Okay, can't call Dad on the phone. I'm making a video. Dad is driving. He's getting you Doritos. And I'm gonna fill this in, do the edges later with I don't know, a triple stitch or something to make the edges look a little pretty. So if you have some mistakes on the side, you can think that, you can fix those later. It won't be the end of the world. Right? So you're just moving slowly. If you're not new at this, set your speed low. just experiment with some scrap fabric. I really like your inside voice, buddy. You're doing such a good job. You need to adjust your tension in this case because you need to make sure that your top thread, you need to make sure that your top thread tension is low. Look at that. I think that one looks really excellent. So I did that kind of spill stitch back and forth, and then I did that. I went back, back, back. Kind of missed that part a little bit, but you know, I can do that, right? So anytime you miss a spot and you're like, oh, I should go back over that. Well, you can, right? You're totally in control. You can just, I went back, 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 back. If you saw how I did that, and I tried to just do it at the same even speed, and I can do that because I'm going real slow. If you go, the slower you go, the more control you have. If you try, because we're just doing this like brand new. I haven't done this in forever, like 2 years. So I'm not really that proficient at it anymore. It's like riding a bike though. So I'm going to do that one part again, right? So I'm going to go down, start at the top there. I'm going to stitch in place. Check out this. 1, 2. I'm going to go stitch back, stitch back, stitch back, stitch forward, stitch back, stitch forward, 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 and in place. And that's how I did that kind of faux stem stitch. Okay, and this is like an experimental piece, right? I just kind of started drawing triangles and stuff, and I was like, I don't know, what am I going to do here? And I can go over that and did that, and I can go over that, and since this is, I probably can't take that out. Well, maybe I could. But that gives me an idea of what to do. And from a distance, probably nobody will even notice that. It just looks gold. And from a distance, these kind of overlaps aren't really that noticeable either. So, just have fun with your stitching.